Okay.
Hit me, oh yeah.
Okay. 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 Hi everyone, Anthony Fantano here, the internet's busiest music nerd. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're doing okay. How's your sister? It's time for another edition of Let's Argue, where I go on the internet, I take your hot takes, your unpopular opinions, your tough questions, I respond to the best ones. Let's do it, let's go! OK Computer isn't Radiohead's best album. It feels like they're still finding their sound, which they fully find with Kid A. After Kid A, they seem comfortable enough to branch off into other sounds entirely. Songs like Lucky and The Tourist feel particularly formulaic. TBH, I disagree. Not necessarily with the statement that OK Computer isn't their best album. I mean, you're entitled to prefer whatever record of theirs you like. However, I think it's kind of silly to say that the reason the album is weak or that it's not all that good is that they haven't found their sound yet, man. They're still searching for their sound. Because, like, what is this sound? I mean, a Radiohead song to my ears is certainly instantly recognizable, and I think that is the case for the music on OK Computer. I wouldn't mistake the music on that record for being anything else other than Radiohead. But, like, again, if they found this sound, how exactly does that play into your point that, like, yeah, after they found their sound, they were cool with doing other sounds? If you're arguing that Radiohead's sole focus and purpose was to seek out this sound that they hadn't yet achieved or formulated, then why wouldn't they stick with it after having formulated it? The Beatles should have cursed more in their music. As it is, their music sounds kind of cheesy. In the 60s, there wasn't a whole lot of swearing going on in popular music, and often records that did have swears in them through whatever means, they had it, would be censored. I mean, even initial runs of Johnny Cash's Live at Folsom had some curse words pulled out of it. There's also like that really awkward edit on like the debut Live MC5 album where I believe they, kick out the jams with like, kick out the jams, brothers and sisters! Because, like, he actually kind of kicks the whole thing off with motherfuckers. So, honestly, I don't know how many of the swears would have gotten through, even if John Lennon was, like, writing songs like, suck my dick, fuck you, bitch, suck my dick, fuck you, bitch. Yeah, it wasn't really until much later when you had, like, the boys splitting off into their various solo careers that guys like John were able to go a little more buck wild and kind of do whatever. Down-tempo and boom-bap type beats should make a comeback in hip-hop. Trap beats have gotten just as overexposed as disco-style beats were in pop music by 1980. I don't entirely disagree with the overexposure, however. I think we kind of already had a bit of a boom-bap renaissance at the start and middle point of the 2010s. I'm not sure going back directly to that would give us anything that we didn't already get in that time period. I'm always down to hear something that sounds like, a little old, or like a throwback as long as it's done well. But I don't know. Here's an idea. How about an even newer thing that's new? ICP and Odd Future are more alike than people think. They have their own label, merch, subject matter, DIY, and cultural influence. I think both of them operating as somewhat independent collectives. I think you need to draw more comparisons, which can be drawn if you really want to, create a parallel here. Because, both have embraced at various points across their catalogs horrorcore type aesthetics. Both have a history of being very raw and edgy and not exactly like the most professional in terms of their demeanor and their sound and, kind of like recording quality. They're both also known for, very outlandish antics. But Odd Future fragmented, and many of the core members who clearly had the most talent from the start kind of went off, did their own thing, showed a great amount of maturity and evolution in going out on their own artistically. Meanwhile, ICP is kind of still like, locked in this weird clown-based Peter Pan syndrome. Which, I mean, if it works for them and it makes them happy, Good, I'm happy for him. How to fix tummy ache. You know, I had tummy ache the other day. I ate a sandwich a little too fast. What did I do? Just kind of chilled out, took a break, laid down, slight fetal position for a little bit, and I drank some water to help along the digestive process a bit. And that's what I did to fix the tummy ache. Not all tummy aches are the same. You may need to take different actions for your tummy ache, whatever the source for that tummy ache is. God bless you, Godspeed. MCR's music is great, but Gerard Way is completely intolerable and sounds like a wailing goat. Gerard's vocals are good. They're nice. They're epic, and they're passionate and expressive. A wailing goat, I think, is kind of taking it a little bit too far. And frankly, when it comes to these rock bands that dropped around this time and are kind of like, emo or even post-hardcore adjacent, I think there are examples of more annoying vocalists than Gerard, even ones that, I still mess with despite that. Cedric of At the Drive-In and the Mars Volta, I think is a more challenging vocalist than Gerard, but still really good. Okay, the JID record is better than T-Pab. First off, no. And second off, why would you send such pixeled... These pixels are disgusting! Get your life together, you freak. The term replay value is the absolute worst factor to judge music on, not only because it's completely subjective, but because albums don't need to be on daily rotation to be great. I was actually having this conversation the other day with a career musician, and it's kind of weird how we judge the success of music based on how often it is consumed. And while, yes, I think that whether or not you want to hear something again is a mark of whether or not it is quality or entertaining, because if a song or an album is total shit, you obviously don't want to experience it over, unless it's really shitty in a funny, entertaining way. But again, with that being said, sometimes very deep, impactful, and emotionally heavy records that may have the most mind-expanding results as far as like a listening experience. Sometimes those records, they require a lot of attention, a lot of focus. They're not vibey albums that you just want to play in the background. And furthermore, if the music is truly very heavy emotionally and compositionally and requires a lot of attention, a lot of processing, you may not always be in the mindset to listen to that project in the way that you would be able to casually listen to something that is maybe a bit lighter in tone or attitude, or isn't trying to dig too deep into anything I guess traumatic or dicey. You're not always in the mood for Kendrick's Auntie Diaries or freaking We Cry Together, but that doesn't mean those songs aren't great. Nicki Minaj is legitimately one of the weaker mainstream female rappers. Lotto, Megan, Cardi B, Doja, and even someone like Coi Leray outdoes her in almost every department. That's stupid! That's dumb! That's a dumb thing to say! One, on what planet is Coi Leray out-rapping Nicki Minaj in terms of flow, pen game, anything? Two, Doja Cat, while I do like her a lot as a rapper, out of the bunch that you've listed here, in terms of her delivery, her demeanor, the eccentricity of it, how colorful and even animated she is on the mic a lot of the time, she is maybe the most influenced by Nicki directly. Cardi B doesn't even write her shit in the way that Nicki Minaj does. So how is that even a point of comparison? I like Cardi, but really. And I don't really know what your point of comparison is here. Are you only sort of looking at them currently as things stand as of this moment? Because if you take into account Nicki's entire catalog, all of her singles, all of her features, I just don't think these ladies here, as much as I think they're amazing and they are contributing greatly to the current female rap landscape, because I think rap music is becoming more centered around women lately. And I think that's mostly been a good thing. And while they deserve all the credit for kind of making things as hot as they are currently in that respect, Nicki helped build the highway that they're all driving down at full speed on. So, you look beautiful today, Melon. Oh, thank you. Thanks. There you go. You're the best. That's the Argue episode. Love you. Over here next to my head is another one that you can check out. Hit that up or the link to subscribe to the channel. Anthony Fantano, let's argue forever.